Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how to do this chatting thing a little bit better. And you have some light in my background. You just have to deal with the glare over my left shoulder. I suppose I now understand why people have this craft versus coming on and doing a straight up live. Chat viewing options. See, I'm doing this to learn a little bit more as well. Let me see if I can do it this way. Oh, I see you now. Okay. Hi, Vanessa. I do plan on going later today to your live. That's at 5, right, Vanessa? Hi, Carla. I'm so excited. I'm such a fangirl of you, Carla. It is a little bit embarrassing. And let me see if I can do oh, there we go. All messages are visible. I'm trying to work this out, but I figure I have a question. Um, oh, they disappear too fast. Man, I look away and I look back and it's gone. How do I get that to stay up? Yes, screw that. I'll see if I can use my phone at the same time so I can see the chat. And so you guys are just going to have to put up with my not looking. Although one of the things I'm going to talk about is these things. And so start thinking in your head. I have these magazines, which don't look like magazines at all. I'm going to talk about here in a bit, just because I needed a topic of conversation in case nobody else had things they wanted to talk about. But I'm going to launch this. Oh, crap, cancel. I'm such a dork now. Well, okay, so I've always been a dork. Go to my channel. And then, oh, that's a ridiculous picture. And then now I can go to top chat and see what's going on. Oh yeah, that works. See, now it doesn't disappear and I can scroll up and down. Good morning. So Chronic Crafter, I completely missed what your name is, and if you've told me, you're probably gonna have to tell me like 7,000 times. And I do. Okay, thanks, Angela. Oh, Angela. I'm so sorry. Man, I'm such a dork. Okay, I'll stop saying that because I'm sure dork is a really bad word somewhere. Well, you ask how I am. I'm actually in a little bit of a good mood today because faster than I thought it was going to happen, I finally have all of the cassette cover kits done. I was so afraid I wasn't going to make my own deadline of getting them done before 2 p.m. today, and that's partially why I gave myself that arbitrary deadline, because I was going to work on them forever. I just kept putting them together, and it was crazy. So let me flip through and cool. So you are going on at 5, Vanessa. How do these people do this chat and craft at the same time while reading these? I don't think I have the intellectual capability of crafting while chatting. So maybe my lives are just going to be kicking back and chatting, because this works easier because I can scroll and I can be a dork and I need to stop saying dork. Obviously, that's my word of the day. And you can see my kitchen in the background. Woohoo! Sue, how you doing? Okay. So here's, oh, I love this hat. This is my fisherman's cap. So this, I would take it off, but then you see how bad my hair is. But this is a handmade cap from Greece. And I think that is so cool. And it's called, well, maybe it's not officially called a fisherman's cap, but that's what I keep referring to it as, because the fishermen wear it when they go out. And so while I was still living on the boat, I started to buy quirky, silly little things that were fisherman related. One, because I do love to fish, and I haven't been in way too long. But two, because I wanted to have that whole mariner feeling experience. And so I came across this cap, and it is one of my favorites because it really is well made. Check that out. That is so cool. Talk about a skill. Okay. Okay, so here I say, okay, my brain's not fully working. Here's what I have. I have a lot of these beautiful books, but I really need to raise some funds for the nonprofit foundation, and they're not full-size books. They're really vintage work basket magazines. They're not in the best condition because whoever had them used them. And so they dog-eared pages. They obviously put them into a book. I just left the address on. I probably could have taken it off, but they have the best images in every single book. But my problem is I bought 90 of them. I've used a lot of them, so I don't still have 90 of them. I use one page out of each one when I'm making like the junk journal kit, or sometimes as a thank you for someone who's done something way over and above, I'll send a whole book. I do have one Hartist who loves to craft. Hartist is the disabled artist that is a part of the organization and has financial challenges. And so I do have one Hartist who does make books and does them in vintage because that's what she has on hand. So I figured I would add one of these to her stash. But I have no idea what to list them for in Etsy. So my topic of conversation, if I were to say a topic, and we can talk about everything else too. But my topic of conversation is, what should I list them for? I mean, what would people even want to pay for them? I don't know. But here's what they have in them as well. And so this particular work basket is knit diaper, that's so funny, tatted doily, round rug, hot mat set, wall decor, bedspread, cap, and booties. And so you can actually see that they have the little, crap, that's backwards. Well, that stinks. Anyway, I have to figure out how to fix that. Hi, Debbie. Thanks for being a new subby. Who published them? The Work Basket published them back then. It was purchased by another company, but it was a magazine company. And sadly, when that other magazine company purchased them, what happened was here, I'll flip through one of them. What happened was oh, this one doesn't have as many ads. They stopped producing them after just a couple of years. They made them bigger and then they stopped producing them. And so, oh, here comes some of the ads. The ads are freaking hysterical in some of them. This one's not too bad, but, and I'm so sorry that it's backwards. I have to figure this thing out. I don't know why they wouldn't be smart enough to just make it straight up right. And so you can see the kind of stuff that's in there. Well, hi, Kathy. So anyway, so almost all of these have most of the pages with pictures, unlike some of the older magazines. And for the people who are looking, oh, and these ads are sometimes hysterical if you flip through these ones. So for those of you who just joined, what I'm talking about, oh my gosh, isn't that cute? Cool as a breeze. It's so cute. And then the back. Look at this form. It's cute. Anyway, so I'm trying to figure out, I do need to raise some funds for the nonprofit, primarily for shipping expenses, postage, etc. The packaging, I just bought a bunch of the packaging, so that's okay for right now. And some other things I need to pick up in support of completing kits that go out. But I do appreciate all the crazy donations that have made their way here. I mean, I really appreciate it. So when people are destashing and they send the supplies, it makes it, how do I say it? It's so much easier to inspire me to be able to go, oh, let's do a kit for X or a kit for Y. And then with so much that has been sent, with the beading, I haven't started the beading stuff until I go buy some beading tools. For instance, like the round nose plier things, the little cutters, and obviously, I have no words today. I just give up on the words. Let me catch back up and chat. And if you guys have no idea what to sell these for, that's fine too. As soon as I kind of sort of figure it out, I wish I remembered what I paid for all of them, but it was a bundle. It was a bundle. But it's my own donation to raise money for the foundation. So obviously, if I have to say a foundation, I really don't have any words today. But, oh, so you think it was Tower Press? 75 cents? Yeah, I definitely, it would cost me more to mail those than 75 cents. Sue, when you find my words, can you send them this way? Because I have no idea where they've gone. Oh, that's a good idea. So what I'm going to do, Vanessa, is when I make that Etsy listing, then I'll just put whatever the patterns are that are in that book, because I do know some people knit, some people crochet. Sometimes it's not knitting or crocheting. They have other stuff that's in there as craft projects. I mean, for me personally, I'm not selling all of mine, but I'm definitely going to do, because I use them in kits when people buy projects, and these cutouts are fabulous. I was thinking of doing cluster kits. Cluster kits would be kind of fun. Not that we don't all have our own scraps and crap, but isn't it funny how when you see somebody else's scraps and somebody else's clusters, you're like, ooh, those scraps are great. So I was thinking it might be, look at the inside of this one. Oh, man. Large bust catalog. These ads just kill me. Anyway, I get distracted. Hi, Cheryl. So nice to see you here. I see you a lot now. I'm clearly addicted to these craft and chat things. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. She must have really worked there ages ago, because I do know that the work basket was sold off to another company. Because when I looked it up to see who the publisher was, because I was going to go make a request to see if I could reproduce some of the images on behalf of the foundation, because some of these ads, oh my gosh, I would love to reproduce them. They would be funny to just put out en masse, but it was just too clumsy and too messy to figure out who exactly the publisher was to go do that reproduction. I wouldn't have reproduced the patterns. I mean, I think that's fair, that in the patterns, that when they do these, again, sorry that it's backwards to you guys, because that just wouldn't feel right to leave it as the individual book for the patterns, but some of the ads, then that would have been cool. So if they just went out of business, how does, hi Anne, If they went out of business, I don't know how the publishing right works, because this is not all the way back to the 20s where they would no longer have that copyright unless they resubmitted something. Yeah, I don't know. On to the coffee. So what's on your crafty tables today? I'm looking around and I actually have my stuff cleaned up. Ooh, that's so crazy. I never have my stuff cleaned up. I'm sitting in my dining area. That's why you can see the kitchen behind me. And hey, Beezy! The only thing left crafty-wise is this that has to go out to Stacy. It's one of my kits, which I didn't put up for sale because I learned in one of the live chats that she loves Garth Brooks. So I pulled aside a Garth Brooks cassette, and because she's always inspiring and helping other people, Stacy at Pink Poodle Crafts, and she also has her own physical challenges. I do know that she has some financial challenges, but she does have a lot of craft supplies, so it would feel weird to send her regular craft supplies in this, but I thought as a one-off that it would be kind of fun to send her one of these. Yeah, good point, Sue. Who doesn't love Garth? So this one, let me see if I can get the cassette out of here, and you'll see. Oh my gosh, there's so much. Yeah, I think I put it in here. So you guys get the sneak peek before she gets it. Oh, you could almost vote too, because I have two Garth Brooks. I have this one and then the one where it's black and white. I don't have it in here, but look at that old blue eyes right there. Oh, getting distracted there. I like how they did that. And then this one's going to make such a great journal cover because it has like the peel out words, and then the spine, when she goes to strengthen the spine, then it's not going to cover up any of the lyrics, because the only thing over there is just information about the producer and stuff like that. So that's going to make a great little book. Oh, by the way, so those do go live and on sale in Etsy at 2 p.m. today. So you guys are helping me stall and contain my excitement a little bit about finally getting those listed and off my crafty desk. The kits, when they go on sale, they're $10, and then it's $4 for shipping, which is pretty fair because it actually cost $3.50 in postage, and then it cost the money for the envelopes, and there was something, oh, and then the tape. So it comes out just a hair under $4. Not that it's a lot of tape or anything like that, but it's pretty fair. Because I feel bad that it's 10 for this and 4 is 40% of the price of the cost of the item. The only people making money and all this stuff being purchased from one place and shipped to another is the postage companies. Lord have mercy. Kathy, you make me chuckle. Will I ever do an auction? Carla, if you wanted to, okay, so will I ever do an auction? I am going to do an auction. What I want to do is, we also help people who are local. What I want to do is I want to pull together an event where the people are, oh, what did I do? I have scratches on my arm. Anyway, I get distracted. So I want to pull together an event where people are creating art, and the people who are the hardest that are creating art, and then we take some of their art supplies that we're making and sell those art supplies. For instance, pockets for junk journals, or I'm coming up with a list of things that will be embellishments that we make in the event. And I was thinking, if I do a list of embellishment style things that we make in those local classes, then it won't be shipping. And so then, aw. Well, at 3, it's so hard to keep her entertained. So if I can do something like that, I thought that would be kind of fun to auction off the little embellishments. That way it would be easy and inexpensive to ship. They should all fit into, and that will be the target, to have them all fit into small envelopes. And then if people buy more than a couple, so then I can have a lot of things in the auction so people can participate and have a piece. So, but anyway, if you think that might be a good idea. The other thing that you said a second ago is the donation, Carla. I do have a website that is www.disabled with a D, disabled, artists with an S at the end, .org. I have the link down below often in my other videos. Even if it's not related to the foundation, I put the link below because a lot of people ask me how they get to the website. And so then you can click on there to donate directly. A lot of the companies actually take a bit of, like in Facebook, if you do one of those donation things in Facebook, they actually take a chunk out of the donation amount that's given to whatever the charity is. Some other companies do that as well. PayPal doesn't do that. PayPal gives the whole amount if it's done in donation form, and so that's why we use PayPal as our donation. But there's a button on the website. I'm not good at asking for, I mean, I feel like right now I'm doing it okay, but in general, I'm not good at asking for that stuff. It always feels awkward. Although when I go into stores, I feel much more comfortable. I just go into random stores and I walk up and I say, what are the things that you throw away? Oh, I got an idea for you guys, by the way. So I say, what are the things that you throw away that you might want to kind of let go of to support a nonprofit foundation instead of whatever your throwaway process is? And at Walgreens, they actually shred all of their photo paper that's on the photo ends. Like when you think of, if you go and get your photos printed at Walgreens, and they have big rolls of photo paper instead of sheets of photo paper like we do. So they actually shred, and I don't know why they would shred them, but they shred their ends and just throw them away. And so it costs them money to have that throwaway art product. I'm probably going to put that in Etsy as well. When I cut them down, I'm going to cut some down to ATC size. I'm going to cut some down to normal photo size. And on some of them, they give big pieces. And so I'll keep some of those bigger, whatever those bigger sizes are for when they get bigger prints and bigger roll-offs. But with that said, instead of just selling it on Etsy, you guys probably could do the same in your areas. I'm not sure if they'd be willing to do it, but why not go ask? I mean, ask Walgreens, CVS, whatever your local photo printer is. I'm trying to think of who the others might be. My next stop is Walmart, and it won't be just photo paper. I understand that they have, oh, take care, Angela, other ideas. Well, that's a good idea. The ATC pocket letters to give out. That is a really good idea. That would also serve as inspiration to truly brand new crafters. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember when you started crafting, but we take a lot of things for granted when we craft. For instance, when I was teaching a class on making cards, when I pulled out all of the double-sided stick tape and put them on, a roll of double-sided stick on each one of the tables, they really struggled with the double-sided stick tape. And so that made me realize, ooh, I have to come up with an easier solution, because peeling that backing off was a pain in the booty. And you know, it reminded me that when I very first started using that stick tape, it was a little bit difficult. By even? Even? Did I miss even? I got distracted. Oh, that would be cool, Mary. That would be really cool. So I have something fun to share on my crafty table. And I can't share all these pages. And they're backwards anyway, which kind of helps, but I don't want, you know, my identity stolen, so I won't share the first page, which has my photo. But this is my very first international passport. You can see it has a hole on it. But I decided that I'm going to cut it apart, and all of its fabulous stamps are going to be, I don't want to do all of them. I make sure it's not personal. Yeah, this one's not personal. I mean, look at this page, how fun that page is. Before I cut it apart though, oh, that is a great idea. So when you're thinking auction, Vanessa or Mary, people contributing donations to auction off, is that what you guys are thinking? And I know there's a delay in chat, so I'm sorry, this will take a second. So Sue, part of why I want to get rid of it is well, maybe I just get rid of the first page, figure out how to cover the privacy part. You can even see where it was canceled, you know, what year it was canceled. It was canceled in 2000. Nope. Can't be canceled in 2000 because I was traveling on this in 2000, so it must have been canceled in 2008. It's a good idea to copy it though. Some of these pages might be fun for you guys on some of these copies, although some won't copy well because it's got tape on it. Let me cover up my private info on this one. Oh, here we go. Covering up private info, but isn't that cool? I mean, you can see the visa for China. A funny story on that one, actually. So I had one of my employees traveling with me, and they're supposed to put the, so we all traveled for work. Sounds glamorous, wasn't glamorous, but when you traveled, you called up, you made a reservation as if you had a travel agent. You made a reservation with, I can't say the name of the company because I don't think I'm allowed to, with the company that we had contracted with to make all of our travel reservations. And if you were going to a country that required a visa, they were supposed to tell you, you need to get your visa. And every country that needed visas had different rules for how you get your visa. But we had a system in place for all the letters that needed to be sent, and the company was supposed to take care of that we had arranged travel through. Well, didn't happen all the time. And one time I had this employee that was just completely, what do they say? Green behind the ears, whatever the phrase is. Brand new to traveling. Brand new to traveling. I mean, like even across the states. And came along, we're sitting next to each other, and we did travel coach. We were role modeling cost savings and all of this, and so we go to, and going coach, you know, 12 hours, 18 hours, that's not fun sometimes. But anyway, so we get to China. Wet behind the ears, that's what it is. I'm so bad with cliches, I totally screw them up all the time. So anyway, get all the way over there, and we're in the passport line. Get up to the passport counter, and we didn't walk up together, but I had him go before me just to make sure he got through okay. So he goes through, I mean, he goes to the counter, he's flipping through, and they're like, you don't have a visa. And you're like, a visa takes a long time to get. That's not something that is going to be just on the fly. So they called him to a room. So I go up to the counter because I was next in line, and I said, he works for me. Is there a way that I'm allowed to go into the room and wait and help solve this problem with him? They were able to get his visa attached to his passport in just a couple of hours. It freaked me out. I thought we were going to have to send him home on the plane. But anyway, I suppose this is a weird tangent to take you guys off on. But every time I see that visa, it's definitely a cool one. Okay, let me see. Yeah, here's another one for Indonesia that's beautiful. And so I'm gonna have to figure out how to if you think I should make copies of these, then that would be kind of fun. Tracy! Okay, so you are my favorite abandoned places, sweetheart, and I want to call you sister of something. I haven't figured out exactly sister of what, but I freaking adore you, Tracy. And I don't know why completely I'm doing a live. I don't really have a full-on purpose, except the original content I was going to try to figure out how much to charge for these babies. They're all from the 50s, I think. There might be some from the 60s, but I think they're all from the 50s. Oh, Tracy, I have a question for you. Yeah. Oh, I was talking about my passport earlier, and so almost every page in here has great little stamps. And I even had to, and you can see, I even had to make it thicker. And so when I had to turn this one in and go get my new passport, look at the stitching and how they, oh wait, make sure there's nothing personal in this. Oh, there is on that one. Oh, look at that. This Chinese visa is different. Look at the, oh, you can't see. I'm trying to cover up my private stuff. But the stitching is what I was going to show you. Look at that when they stitched it in. That's kind of cool. Got distracted. It was for work. It was back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I have to tell you, during some of these years, I was a single mom. And, ooh, this was my only trip to India. Look at this one. That one's pretty too. I hate covering this up. But, got it. Dang, hold on. This is live. I may not post this video because in case something personal goes up out of this one. But it's so pretty. I suppose it doesn't matter on my passport number because this passport is now expired. So that's one of the things I probably don't have to cover up. But y'all don't need to know my birth date, that kind of thing. I don't have any. Oh, that is so cool. I'm reminiscing here. Sorry. I was reminiscing. I actually have a list I need to make of all the, before I forget them, of all the places that I've been, but it was and it was all for work, and I didn't spend enough. I mean, at one point I was so close to the Great Wall of China, and I didn't go see it. What kind of a goofball am I? I mean, and I was even into taking pictures back in those days, but I was of the mindset, because I was finance conservative and you know, trying to not be perceived as frivolous in any way, and that's part of my personality anyway. But I don't know. I didn't go visit the Great Wall of China when I was like literally right next to it. That's heartbreaking. I mean, I did go to some other places where I did a little bit of touristy stuff, and that would be when I was stuck over weekends. Oh, what I was saying earlier, though. Try being a single mom and traveling internationally like 30% of the year, 50% of the year. I don't know. It was a lot. And that was tough. And that was tough on the kids, tough on me. And the worst was one time I was stuck, and I got stuck because I was kind of forced to stay, and I was gone for 5 weeks. 5 weeks was way too long, and that creates extra expenses, extra strain on the children, extra strain on the people helping out by watching the kids. Yeah, that one's in this passport too. That one's in there too. Well, hi, Lynn. You know, I videoed earlier today, and I have to schedule it for release. I videoed earlier today the box you sent of donations, and I can't say thank you enough. I can't. You are a genuine, a true blessing. You are a sweetheart. And by the way, our chats back and forth on that collusion thing, that is so funny. I can't wait for Shelly to open that. That is going to be so much fun. Wait, I got distracted. I was talking away and I got distracted on chat, and I'm not even crafting. My goodness, how in the world do people do the chatting and the crafting? I just don't know. Just if you can cover it. Yeah, you know, I think, Sue, what I will do then is I'll cover my private, and I'm scrolling back up to catch up. I'll scroll through, and before I already had my fussy cutting scissors out. So I'll scroll through, and before I cut this baby apart into pieces, which I'm kind of looking forward to. But before I cut it apart into pieces, I'll delete all my private info somehow. I'll figure out how to cover up the private info, take pictures, and create like a little micro one. That would make a fun little book too, because then I do actually have some pages that are blank in here that would be good writing pages, and it would make a fun little insert. What was that 30-day one for? That was Dublin. That was one of my favorite ones. Okay, I'll stop on that. I'm reminiscing too much because I got the passport out. Put that baby away. I won't talk about it anymore. Okay, here we go. So if I take those stamps individually and copy them way up close and put those in the Etsy store as printables. Oh, I could do a whole little printable kit. That way it would reduce, there'd be no shipping. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is a great idea. So, Mary, thank you. Okay, cover the, yeah, I'll make sure that none of the printables have anything on it. And then, oh, the question. See, this is how far back I'm scrolling up. So, Tracy, you asked, what's the question? The question I have for you is, I have a whole bunch of these work baskets. And you're seeing it backwards because I have my, oh, does it allow me to flip this over? Because I could, no, it doesn't allow me to flip it. Oh, it does. Okay. Can you see me? Oh, I don't know if that's going to hold. Hold on. I'm making you sick. I'm making you sick. Yeah, that's not going to work. You don't want that view. Oh, Lordy goodness. Oh, I give up. That was bad. You're going to see it backwards. Well, Laura, as much as I spent on this passport, of my own time and hours and travels and whatever, I don't care if they say I can't tear it up. I'm going to tear it up anyway. They don't need a record of this. It's expired. It's not valid. Ooh, there's even something in here. Ooh, this is the one for Japan. Okay, off of that. The question I have for you, Tracy, and yes, this is backwards. I have a whole bunch of these work basket books, but because you are always keeping me inspired with abandoned places, which I am so sick of doing matte medium on those pages. I'm so bored with doing matte medium on those pages that I'm about to say, I'm not doing matte medium on the pages all at once and in advance. I'm just going to open the book and start painting in the dang thing. I mean, you could see I got a little impatient and started with like a penguin and a piece of fire. And those weren't even matte mediumed down. It's just that's where they needed to go. So I think I'm just going to open the pages I feel like painting and get started because I'm sick of doing the matte medium because I can't do the sound of that dryer. So a lot of people are like, oh, you just dry it and you go on to the next page. And no, I matte medium it down and then I go off and then the next day I matte medium another one down. And anyway, back to Tracy. Do you knit? Do you crochet? Do you do... Oh, look, this one says donkey toy. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, it says placemat, doily set, tatted edge, donkey toys, star motif, and sweater. So I'm going to be putting all of these into the Etsy once I figure out how much to list them for. I'll do a separate listing for each and every one because they all have different things like knit diaper, tatted doily, round rug, hat max set. I think I read that earlier. Nap pillow, toy bear, knit anklets. I don't even know what anklets would be. Tatted flag, square doily, stuffed toy. They each have projects inside. And the pictures that are inside and then the sales ads inside are fabulous. Yeah, I could just sit here and read this for a full hour of entertainment. And they even have cute little patterns too. I guess it depends on what it is. Oh yeah, it was Christmas time. I'm like, it has some Christmas stuff in this one. So I'm going to list each of these, but the question I have for you, Tracy, is what projects that you do. Is it knitting? Is it crocheting? Because I think you said crochet, and I'm not good at telling the difference, and I know that's really naive and dumb, but my mom used to be able to do that stuff, and she tried to teach me, and I learned that I am 150% unteachable. And that, in fact, she used to say, how did you turn that upside? I couldn't repeat that if you tried. Yeah, she tried. It was a complete and total failure. Okay. Oh, Mary, you're so sweet. You know, one of the things I think I'm going to do in the abandoned places, because it has a map on the front and the back. I was about to reach and grab it, but I have a web page in there. It has a map in the front and the back of the abandoned places book that I have. I was thinking of just putting a little dot in each of the places. And this is how geographically ignorant I am. There are some places that I've been. I don't know where they are in the map. The plane took me there. I didn't have to actually drive there, so yeah, I don't know. So I'm going to have to look up some of those too. And I'm still scrolling to catch up to you guys. They carry wrenches. Lynn, you're also helping to do the good work. I just read that what you wrote, but no, you are definitely also the one doing the good work. Oh my gosh, a free printable online with T-Rexes. Wouldn't that be fun to create a character? But you know who else I adore? I adore Teresa. I just wanted to call her T, but that wasn't going to make any sense. And she is so sassy. She's funny. And she draws the cutest characters. Like her characters, if someone was to put a piece of art on the wall, I would be able to tell you, yep, that's Teresa's. And so, yeah, I think that she is a doll. And maybe I should send her a little note and say, hey, can you draw me a little character that goes in the passport book for the printable? That would be fun. Hi, Patricia. I'm really delayed because I'm scrolling down chat really slow and I'm just chatting. I'm still scrolling, so I'm silent for a second. So you knit. Okay, so that's good to know. I'll look up, well, actually, even better than me looking it up. When I list all of these on Etsy, just send me a little note which one you like, and I'll just take it off the Etsy shop. And don't tell me no. I won't take no for an answer. Oh, anklets like Bobby sock. Oh my gosh, aren't Bobby socks so darn cute? Do you remember we used to wear them and you just flip them over and they feel like they were decorating the top of your shoe? Hi, Cheryl. Crochet doily patterns. Yeah, it definitely has a lot of those in there. In fact, a lot of the books have crochet doily patterns in there. So a tatted doily, that's a good idea. Okay, so I think I have tatted edge. This one is tatted doily. Since you're here in live, I'll mark this one for you. Do I have your address in one of the groups? You can just send me an email. I'll write my email on the back of this really quick. I'll put it down in comments too. Oh, it's going to be backward. Well, you can read it. It'll be down there, but it's just help@disabledartists.org, like that. No space or anything, it's just I ran out of room. Yep, Beezy. You currently knit and crochet. So Beezy, I just need to, you don't have to give me your address here. But this says tatted doily, so you might as well have an instruction thing in here. And so just send me a note. I think you're in Crafting Mama's group. I'm also in there, so just send me a little Facebook instant message with your address and I'll send that out to you. So your mother threw out over 100 patterns. Oh, that's heartbreaking. Oh, that is just heartbreaking. Hi, Aunt Bex. How are you doing today? I needed a coffee moment. I think I am going through middle-aged puberty. Did you hear my voice squeak like that? I'm fully over bronchitis, by the way. You should have heard me for a little bit. It was kind of funny. Man, I couldn't imagine being without. Oh yeah, I can. So the week of the 10th of June. Oh, we're in June now. Happy June, everybody. The week of the 10th of June, I'm going to be gone for a couple of days in the boonies with my brothers. And I love my brothers dearly. I mean, like, I love my brothers. They are so much fun. They make me happy, like crazy happy. And I've barely gotten to know them over my lifetime. It's a long story, whole nother thing. Even though for Windows we did live together. And we're going up into the deep woods by the Swanee River, which is a huge river way up north for us. And when we go into the deep woods, I have a crazy fear of snakes. Now I'm going to bring the 2 kayaks, and we're going to be on the Swanee River. It's going to be fun. I don't know if I have the cojones to do the paddleboard on the river because I have a little bit of a fear of gators and snakes, and this is really in the boonies. And you know, I know it's not going to be mowed grass to walk out to the river, and so I'm going to be dealing with that. But I'm built up. I'm strong, and I'm doing a lot of woo-woo. I'm doing a lot of woo-woo preparing myself for this because I know it's going to be worth all the campfires. I know it's going to be worth all the hanging out and the laughter and the entertainment. And yeah, I almost lost one of my brothers a year ago, my oldest brother, and he had an extremely scary experience. And when I almost lost him, I realized, you know, you just never know. You just never know when you're going to lose somebody. So I really wanted to get to spend more time with all of them and kind of meet all of them, because I lived away from Florida for 20 years. Now that I'm back home and none of them ever left. I mean, we're a multi-generational Floridian family, and there's not a whole lot of those. Anyway, so there's some fun with those guys. There's definitely fun with those guys. I don't know how I got off on that tangent. Sorry about that. You guys see how scatterbrained I am. Oh, you take care, Cheryl. Bye-bye, sweetheart. Tell me lots of laughs. I'll budget for one silly. Don't tell me that. I already told you I won't take no for an answer. I wasn't kidding. Oh, I didn't know you had links on your blog for crochet and knit sites. That's cool. Life for us. I need to remember this chat thing. In fact, if everybody's cool with this, give me a thumbs up, because I'll leave this chat live because of that one line right there, that you have free crochet and knit sites on your blog, and you write what your blog is, just in case I forget to put that. Just in case I forget to put that there. Hi, Mia. See, I'm so look at how delayed I am. I really, one of these days I'm gonna get caught up. This process, this experience today, there's two purposes. One, I'm working up the courage to just have a conversation like this and doing these lives. Two, in my last one, I had so much anxiety over not even saying hi to everybody in the chat because I was just nervous on making those little books. And those little books really don't even take me that long to make, but it took me a long time in that last live chat to make those little books. And because I was so worried about missing people. So. Yeah, Beck, we've all got some crazy stories, I bet you. Could you imagine if all of us crafters got together around a campfire and just shared the stories, how wild some of our stories would be? Oof, that would be so much fun. Sue, it almost counts if you were conceived here. It almost counts. Haha, and I use that symbol. My husband did that for David when we were in Italy. Yeah, Tracy, I can't keep a conversation on one topic. I am all over the place. Oh my gosh, Mary. I would absolutely love to send a postcard to your son. So it's on the 25th of this month. Mary, your address is in Crafting Mamas, right? That would be fabulous. I so want to do that. I'm going to put a little note to self. Mary, postcard to son, and then Crafting Mamas. Oh, is it in Pink Poodles? Where do I know you from? Thank you, Mia. Oh, you're in the flock. You know, I go to the Poodle Pack as much as I go to Aunt Beck's Art Bar, as much as I go to Shelly Crafting Mamas, which was my original addiction. She's who started my Facebook. I mean, she didn't start my Facebook, but she's the reason I decided to go back onto Facebook, was just to join her group of crafting mamas, because I just fell in love with the people in there. And so Mary is everywhere. Isn't Mary everywhere? I think I'm following you everywhere. If you see I'm in a group that, if I'm not in a group that you're in, I bet you I end up there. Shelly's so lovely. She is one of the kindest souls, just absolutely one of the kindest souls. I feel bad that the only times I ever seem to do a live is when it's the afternoon, which would be way too early for her. But that's okay. At least I'm not interrupting her day. But gosh, I adore her. I realize that, oops. Aren't I happy I did this on the iPad? The husband called and I just ignored his phone call. Bye. I'm just kidding. So I am gonna log off soon, just because he's going down to go check out to see whether or not the kayaks are still in the barn, which is the big place that they store a ridiculous number of boats. It's like 4-story level of boats. And they have been storing our kayaks since we had the boat. Now that's a couple of years ago. And so he's just making sure that the kayaks are still there because they're under new management, and then, you know, we're just a little bit nervous. Anyway. You know, Aunt Beck, you're in the mountains, and you love the mountains, and you think Florida is just too far away from the mountains, and I am exactly the opposite. When I moved to Tucson, which was the first city I lived in after leaving Florida, I wasn't a big fan of the mountains. I mean, all the people there used the mountains to determine what north, south, east, and west was. That's what the sun's for. I don't need mountains for that. And so then I was looking forward to, when I graduated from college, I was looking forward to just moving anywhere besides Arizona, because I missed the green. I really, really missed the green. And so I got a few different job offers, but the one that I couldn't turn down happened to be in Arizona. And in Phoenix, well, technically not Phoenix, in Chandler. Oh, bye, Beck. Oh, Carla, the way to donate is, I'll put a link down below when I post this live. And the way to donate is, I have a website that's www.disabledartists.org. In fact, we're now searchable on Google at Disabled Artists Foundation. And so that will help you go straight to our website, because there's no alternatives. There's only one of our kind, which I find odd. I actually did find, and another weird funky tangent, I did find that people do it for money. They're doing it as for-profit companies, where they go and they have the disabled people create art, and then or they charge the disabled people for the space, or they charge the assisted living facility, and that's cool. That's cool and all. But I haven't found another organization like ours, which is kind of sad. It is kind of sad. I mean, it should be done for the people who need it. But anyway, I'm back on a tangent again. Yes, and we also, if you shop on Amazon and use Amazon Smile, this is something I do want to talk about, because Amazon Smile sent a notification to me recently stating that for all the companies that are not 501c3, they're going to be dropped off Amazon Smile at, I forget what the date is. And we are 501c3, which was a bit of a nightmare. But anyway, we are 501c3. It's official. And all of those companies that are through, what is it called? Guard? I don't know. Some hoop I had to jump through. All of the companies that are in the hoop. You have to be a 501c3 and I forget, GuideStar, something like that, where they keep all the records and informations on the official nonprofits. And so you have to have both of those on some date, and it's this summer where all those companies are going to be dropped off. So if you're raising money to benefit for some short period of time or something like that on Amazon Smile, or you already have maybe your school district, not all school districts are nonprofit. And so maybe you've always been using Amazon Smile for school. No, I don't have the wish list up yet. I do need to do that because I have to find some jars that are 2 ounces, 4 ounces, and 8 ounces to put on that wish list. Maybe not this fancy, but some fussy cutting scissors as well. I got distracted. Oh, Amazon Smile. So the thing that I was talking about with Amazon Smile, if people don't notice, then boy, is that going to make a big bump in money for Amazon, because they're not going to be sending that. I think it's like 0.1%. It's some tiny amount that goes, but why not do that? Yes, mason jars. Mason jars that are 2 ounces, 4 ounces, and I think they come 8 ounces. And the reason is because on the 2 ounce ones, I'm going to start making buffing paints. What the heck do you call those things? I need to put those in my Etsy shop as buy one, give one. Where you mix the wax with the paint, and I'll come up with a good formula for using a good paint donation, but it might be more tactile and easier for the people to apply the paints with some of the disabled, and you guys might enjoy them too. And so I'm going to go through and make a bunch of paint like that in the 2 ounce jars, and maybe in some, you know, if it's basic colors, primary colors, in the 4 ounce jars. So. I'm always looking for my words. Oh, did I miss any questions? I totally. Oh, back to Amazon Smile. So I don't know exactly when it happens over this summer when Amazon Smile drops everything. But if you guys do use Amazon Smile, all you do is you go to smile.amazon.com, and instead of buying your products by saying, hey, Alexa, I need to buy whatever. Oops, she's going to turn on. Hold on, I have one of those. See, if you use Alexa to buy, then she doesn't buy on your Amazon Smile, so I don't even use her to shop anymore. So you have to actually go to the website smile.amazon.com, not even the app, and then select from the drop down who you want versus who they automatically give you. And when you select who you want as the nonprofit, double check, even if it's not us, please just double check that it's a 501c3, because all the others are going to be dropped. So bye, Carla. Huge hugs. Oh, I cannot. Oh, look, you can see a piece of art that my daughter made. Isn't that cute? It's a tree, and it says family, and the quote says, like branches on a tree, we all grow in different directions, but our roots remain the same. Isn't that sweet? Oh, so I don't know. I kind of think I'm done talking. I can just go on and on and on. But not today. Do you guys want to know something crazy that happened to one of my pieces of art? If I don't make you seasick. Hold on. You're going to see some art here on my walls for a second. I'm unplugging my little stand. And that's my camera holder. That's actually my favorite dolly. Check this out. It's totally my favorite dolly. Isn't that cool? This is Tinkerbell. So this was done back in, I forget what year they collaborated in, but Dolly and Disney collaborated, and I think it says 1940 something. And this picture of Dali and his wife, Dali is crying. He loves her dearly. I don't know what the turtles represent, but this is just a numbered print, so it's not like a huge deal. And you can see him with his own mustache there. But Disney turned this lady that he put into his surreal piece, Disney turned that lady into Tinkerbell. And that's the history of Tinkerbell. Isn't that cool? But look at what happened to my art. Like, I'm mad. This is not a cheap frame. And how they applied, this is another Dali. And this is a heart that starts beating inside of the movie. And I'm sorry that I'm shaking you. I just don't know how to stand without shaking. And this piece just makes me excited. Like, crazy excited. This is, to me, if you look at it up close, like, I love Dali. I can't get enough of him. And I'm sorry you see the reflection in the glass, but it's a poster and I wanted the glass to cover and protect it. But you can see that this is water. Maybe this is why I'm so attracted to your work, Tracy. Your work and the way you think about the way you put things together reminds me of a little bit of the spirit of Dali. Huh. I think that's why I'm addicted. Did you guys see? Did you? Oh, I got to show you this. Check this out. I'm such a little kid. Oh, that's also Dali, but doesn't look anything like any other Dali I've ever seen. I have some, see if I can even hold you right for this. These are, I need to make a bunch of clusters. So this is the other art supply that I haven't cleaned up. And you can see that I do this in my dining room and my husband goes a little nuts and then I clean it up and he's okay. Oh, my mom made this. Isn't it beautiful? It's old and it came out of her stuff. Okay. Are you ready? So I have to tell you, I was going to log off, but now I got to talk about this for a second. So this typewriter is 1927. And I got to tell you how weird this is. So my husband, and I hand rolled these a long time ago. When I bought the typewriter, I had it repaired in a store in Mesa that actually repairs typewriters. Bought it in a store in Mesa. And these are the original kind of glass keys that you see people with the non-working typewriters, but this one works. And oh, behind it is a yearbook I'm going to take apart. And it's a college yearbook. Like, this is in the days when colleges had yearbooks. So this is University of Idaho yearbook. Anyway, so back to the typewriter. And it was a portable traveling typewriter, and look how tiny, from the 20s. And they got bigger before they got smaller again. Oh, just a version of heaven. So now, let me tell you how weird it is. And I probably shouldn't do this on a live because people are going to realize how weird I am for this. So I was opening up the Great Gatsby book. And when I was opening up the Great Gatsby tome that I had bought from Michelle Scott, the whole time I was going through that tome, the whole time I was going through that tome, I was thinking about and missing a typewriter that I had given away as a gift. And still to this moment, I only remember buying one typewriter. Truly only remember buying one typewriter. And my husband, we got into this conversation yesterday. He only remembers buying one typewriter. And he's got a great memory. So I do believe this is one of those weird universe things. So I'm flipping through Michelle's tome, and all I kept thinking the whole time was, man, I want to go back to this era. I really want to go back to this era and and I'll share with you what I want to do. What I want to do is, I don't know if you guys have watched that video where I found the box of all my recipes of cosmetics and many other kinds of recipes that, I mean, not makeup, but like face cream, and I don't have soap recipes in there, but I do have like scar reduction serums, what kinds of essential oils work on what, which things meld with other things really well. I don't know. It's a whole recipe thing. And when I was going through that Great Gatsby book, I was wickedly, and I just am going to share this with you now, but I was wickedly inspired to turn my recipes into a tome. And all I could think about was how much I missed this typewriter that I'd given away. Well, when I already uploaded that video, and it's a beautiful tome. If you haven't seen it, or if you haven't seen her work, you have to go visit her work. It really is beautiful. It's even more beautiful in person. But now I go a couple of days, videos posted. My husband never watches my videos. He's never seen a single one of my videos. He wasn't home when I shot the video. I didn't talk about the typewriter. He comes home yesterday because he was cleaning up the shed. And when I say the shed, it's a storage unit that when we moved from Arizona to the boat, we rented a storage unit. And when we rented the storage unit, it's a 10 by 20 storage unit, and it's stuff that used to hold my craft supplies. Now they're in the condo. It holds the art that doesn't fit on the walls because we couldn't get rid of all the art. As you can see, our love of art here. But so it holds some of our art, and it holds some other stuff. Well, he went through one of the boxes and brought home, he didn't call me in advance or anything, which you would, he was that excited. He comes all the way home and calls me with excitement from downstairs to say, "You won't believe what I found." "What'd you find?" And he goes, "Your typewriter." And I'm like, my typewriter? We gave that to, I almost said his name. We gave it to someone who is a World War II buff, like a huge World War II buff. Person definitely has the typewriter, because I went back to go check my private messages on Facebook, or maybe it was text messages. I went back to go check my text messages, and yes, that person has the typewriter. And so somehow my purchase of it all sounds weird. Just go with me here. My husband brings home the typewriter. I about cry. I about lose it. But when he brought it home and he showed, it has a top to it, as you see. We take the top off, which is not in the best condition, and you can tell that it scratches right there. A memory hits me that I didn't have prior to that, and I remembered getting this particular typewriter repaired. The little thing that goes left and right, they had to replace that because it wasn't moving when you would type, and that's what made it now a working typewriter. Now, it still doesn't automatically scroll up. You have to manually do that, but I don't care. That's fine. But anyway, carriage, thank you. I didn't mean to go off on such a weird tangent, but what makes it weird, what makes it truly weird, is I don't remember buying two. And not only do I not remember buying two, he doesn't remember buying two. We don't even remember what the typewriter looks like that we gave to the other person. And the whole experience of finding that typewriter, the reason I gave the other person the typewriter is because I didn't want it to get damaged in the shed. It was too good. So, yeah. It doesn't make any sense, except that I now have visualized something so much so that it exists and I have a memory of its existence after I didn't. And I just think that's crazy. It's crazy. And maybe it's just me that's crazy, but it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. So now I'm going to scroll back and catch up because I haven't even looked at chat since I started sharing the art. And oh my gosh, it occasionally pops up on this screen, but let me see. Oh, she used Amazon Smile and oh my gosh, Brenda, 6 packages. Hi, Brenda. 6 packages from China. What did you get? Did you share? Did you share what you got? Dies, stamps, clear black stickers, and assorted small flowers. That just sounds like fun. I got a package from China. I got these little guys, so I can package goods that are sold on Etsy nicer. So I'm going to stick in, I'm going to prepare them all by cutting cardstock to size. In pretty little cardstocks. I mean, that's obviously not cardstock, but I'll prepare them all. Yeah, the 10-finger typing, like ASDF, whatever the other 4 are. Yeah. What a lovely thing to say. I just read that, Tracy, and I really meant that. You're now thinking about the way that you use water and the way that you carry stuff. You have your own style, and there's something in that spirit. The first typewriter you used had glass keys. Oh my gosh, don't you love those glass? Like, you just want to touch them. I just want to touch them. Like, I want to take a picture of each letter and say, oh, you know, because each one just looks like a beautiful piece of art, and then cut them out. Oh, that would be a good digital thing for you guys to have the, yeah, there you go, ASDF GHJKT. Yeah, I think the whole manifested thing is just crazy. I'm declining my husband's phone call again. I suppose I should hang up here pretty soon. Okay. An enigma, serendipity, manifestation, whatever it is. Thank you, universe. Thank you. All right. With all of this, and now that my coffee is cold, it's time to get more coffee and time to hang up with all you guys. But I have enjoyed just sitting here and chatting. I'm getting more comfortable at chatting, but I'm definitely not comfortable with crafting and chatting yet. So I'm gonna have to figure out something, either not do the lives, or, I mean, do you guys find this fun? Because I feel like all I'm just doing is just chatting forever. So let me know if you find this fun, or if you really think I should be crafting while we're chatting, because this just isn't fun to just chat. Because frankly, I love crafting. I could just sit and craft and craft and craft. I could paint. I wonder if I could paint and chat. Now, I get in my own head when I'm painting. I can hardly make a video in paint because I just go silent for like an hour. And then I catch myself. No. I'll keep playing with it, both and both. I'll do like a chat, and then I'll do a craft and chat. Maybe that's how I'll separate it. That way, if you guys don't like the chat part, then we won't do the chat part. One of these days, though, I might just take you around the house and show you every piece of art in the house. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. That would be kind of fun. Well, on that note, I'll show you something. You know, when I say goodbye to everybody, I'm going to show you this one thing. My, oh, thank you, Mia. You too. My husband and I love my husband dearly. He is an amazing soul. He is a sweetheart. Well, we were on a boat, cruise. We were on a cruise. And it was a regular cruise ship kind of cruise. And he hasn't painted since he was a kid in school. And you know how some of us get told things on what we need to believe about ourselves and our painting skills? Well, I'll leave you on this. On the cruise was the first time he had painted in forever, since he was a kid. We won't go back to how many years that was. And what we did is one of those painting class things on the boat, and that got him to pick up paint and paper. And I just wanted to share with you the piece of art that my husband made for his first painting after forever and ever, using one of those painty classes. And I just think it's cool. With that said, hugs and love, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me, and I guess that's it. Take care.